Hello students, how are you and how's your study going on? I hope that you all will be fine staying home and doing your study at your home. On the behalf of Paramount Public School, today we are going to discuss the summary of 4th chapter of our book Hornbill. Name of the chapter is Landscape to Sol. Are you ready to learn? So let's start with our topic. Summary of Landscape to Sol, written by Nathalie Trowbridge. Introduction. Firstly, the chapter comprises of two parts. The author has taken the first part from Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese painting, whereas the second part has been derived from getting inside outsider art. The main theme of the chapter is about arts. Okay, two parts are divided in the chapter. First is related with Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese painting, and second part is related with getting inside and outsider art. And it means the theme of the chapter is related to our arts. It revolves around the art of painting, told through the help of various stories. We learn about Chinese painters and their works as well as the story behind them. It means there is a comparison between Chinese painters and European painters have been given. Like that, Chinese painter, whatever they draw, could be expressed by their painting, but European painter wants that the looking person, the watching person should take their eyes to look at the painting what he want to convey the message. So similarly, in the second part explores the concept of art breadth. What is this art breadth? Meaning of the art breadth is of meaning is the art of the ones who have no right. It means a person who has not taken any formal training of art but still he is doing art. Thus, we learn a great deal about art and its history through this chapter. So let's talk about summary. This chapter divides into two parts. I already told you, each telling us about art and its history through various stories. In the part taken from Landscape of the Soul, Ethics and Spirituality in Chinese painting, we learn about the art of painting through two stories here. The first one is about a very popular Chinese painter Hu Daoji. It is about the 8th century when he was hired by Tang Emperor Yang Zhong to adorn means to beautify, to some addressify a wall of the palace. Who painted beautiful scenery with mountains, waterfalls, forests, as well as clouds and blue skies, with people living harmlessly in a happy environment. However, he painted a cave at the foot of a mountain also, and that was inhabited by a spirit. It means that he had painted some number of things of beauty of nature in the painting, and at the foothills of mountain he had painted a cave, and he said to the emperor that there is a spirit is living in the cave. Then what happened? When the painter was showing his work to the emperor, he claps his hands and an entrance to the cave opens. And he said to the emperor that let me show the way, and he went forward and Tang Emperor stayed there. Wherever he go in and vanishes from there. Thus, after disappearing, the author says that denotes the knowledge of mystical inner world. Thus, it says that only the masters are aware of the way within, and can go yonder. Yonder means very far distance of any material form. It means the person who is preparing the thing, the person, the painter who is painting the portrait or anything, he could understand the mystical inner world and he could go with his mystical world. Similarly, there is another story now about another popular Chinese painter who didn't draw a dragon's eye, fearing it would become real and fly out of his painting. He made the painting of a dragon but didn't draw dragon's eye because he think that it will become real and fly from the painting. So next story is related with. Next we have the third one about a master blacksmith Quentin Matisses, who falls in love with the daughter of a painter. As the father was not accepting of his son-in-law belonging to such a profession, blacksmith, and he still did so. So what happened to the Quentin? Quentin loves with the daughter of a painter, but painter didn't like a blacksmith as his son-in-law. So what Quentin has done for his love? Look. He accepted Quentin because he painted a fly on his board. It had such gentle realism that it resembled a real one. Further, the author talks about Chinese philosophy Shansui. Shansui meaning mountain, Shan mean mountain and Sui mean water. Okay, Quentin has made a fly of that type on the painting board. Even the painter could not find out that it is a real fly or a painted one. Finally, the second part of Getting Inside Outsider Art by Brinda Suri talks about the concept of art bread. Art bread translates to the art of ones who have no right to be artists. Art bread talks about that persons who have no sense, who have not taken any formal training of arts. It is because they lack any formal training, yet somehow possesses artistic talent and insight. She refers to them as the ones who think outside the box. It means lateral thinking and defy the normal standards. People refer to their work as unorthodox. Unorthodox means traditional art. She cites the example of Naik Chand work as an unorthodox art. She cites the example of Naik Chand's work at Rock Garden in Chandigarh is a form of art bread. It means Naik Chand haven't taken any formal training of art, but he is related with outsider art, or he is known as art bread, because without any formal training he created a masterpiece with very less things and unused things. So come to the conclusion. To sum up the summary, we learned that art is an infinite form which has a rich history and it cannot fit inside any certain box or label. It has a life of its own. It means art could not be finished in a box or a label. It has its own life. A person who is having inside artistic activities, inside talent, he could possess any type of painting. I hope students you understand the topic. Thank you. Thanks for watching.